Police say they are still investigating the violent arrest of former NFL player Desmond Marrow in an Atlanta Target parking lot last December. I can't breathe. Plus, Kanye West's comments that slavery was a choice has many people upset. We're giving you an exclusive look inside St. George's Chapel, the site where Meghan Markle and Prince Harry will wed on May 19th. More on this story on the ABC Columbia mobile app. And each year, millions of Americans face the reality of living with mental illness. That's why May is the month to educate and bring awareness to the issue. Hello, and thank you for joining me. From Maine and Gervais, I'm Kimberlei Davis. I hope that you're well this Wednesday. Happy birthday if you're celebrating today. You share the day with yours truly and The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. Those trending headlines, more celebrity birthdays, and your moment in history. That's all coming up next. Today, Wednesday, May 2nd. The community and most of the country is rallying behind former football player Desmond Marrow, who was arrested in a Target parking lot near Atlanta. Newly released video of that controversial arrest in December shows police roughing Marrow up and choking him. Anaya Crystal has details.
I can't thank God enough that he's alive.
Desmond Marrow's mom was emotional.
I want to win this case for this young man.
A community came together to support Desmond Marrow.
I was heartbroken. Kind of in disbelief, heartbroken, because like I said, it could have been my son out there, but it's injustice.
I'm very thankful that I'm alive.
The former NFL player says when police arrived to the parking lot, he was trying to be calm.
They started off calling me boy, so I knew at some point he was going to turn bad.
In the video, you see things escalate. While in handcuffs, officers slammed him into a truck, then pinned him on the ground. You see Officer David Rose puts his hands on his throat, choking him.
It was probably the worst thing I've ever been through. I couldn't figure out if I was passing out or if I was going to die while he was choking me.
I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
It was just me and God at that point. I mean, I'm handcuffed. They're taking me everywhere. They're slamming me. At that point, I just was quiet and just praying in my head, crying out. You saw the videos, crying out for my life.
The officer seen choking Marrow is on paid administrative duty.
Internal Affairs is looking at things. We also have the DAs looking at things.
Is what we saw in the video standard procedure, and if not, what is the standard procedure in situations like that?
We're still looking at that. I have concerns.
Community members have concerns. Why Officer David Rose has been on the streets the last 5 months and only went on administrative duty on Friday.
And if we find mistakes, we will own them. We are not perfect.
You hear about slavery for 400 years. For 400 years, that sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all?
Kanye West has been known to say some outrageous things over the years, and now the rapper is back in the headlines once again in less than a week with some controversial comments he made about slavery. CNN's Rosemary Church reports.
You know, like, it's like we're mentally in prison.
West later asked staffers of the TMZ's show, quote, "Do you feel like I'm thinking free and feeling free?" That's when one staffer, Van Lathan, fired back.
I actually don't think you're thinking anything. I think what you're doing right now is actually the absence of thought. And the reason why I feel like that is because Kanye, you're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to believe whatever you want. But there is fact and real world, real life consequence behind everything that you just said. The rest of us in society have to deal with these threats to our lives. We have to deal with the marginalization that has come from the 400 years of slavery that you said for our people was a choice.
West later tweeted, trying to explain and clarify his comments, saying this: "Of course, I know that slaves did not get shackled and put on a boat by free will. My point," he said, "is for us to have stayed in that position, even though the numbers were on our side, means that we were mentally enslaved."
May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Mental illness is a real issue for millions of Americans, both young and old. Here's Reed Binion with more in today's Health Minute.
May is Mental Health Awareness Month, bringing attention to the need for screening and treatment. According to new research released by Nationwide Children's Hospital, 87% of Americans surveyed agree that more mental health support for children and adolescents needs to be available. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, just over 20%, or about 1 in 5 children, have had a seriously debilitating mental disorder. The National Institute of Mental Health defines a serious mental illness as a mental, behavioral, or emotional disorder that limits one or more major life activity. The NIH also reports that there were about 45 million adults living with a mental illness in 2016. Of those, almost 10.5 million were serious mental illnesses. If you or someone you know has a mental illness, there are resources to help. For today's Health Minute, I'm Reed Binion.
For you Avenger fans, in 2008, Marvel Studios released the film Iron Man, starring Robert Downey Jr. Happy birthday if you're celebrating today. You share the day with wrestler and actor Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He's 46. Grey's Anatomy actor Gaius Charles is 35, and former soccer player David Beckham is 43. Well, that's our time for today. You've been watching What's Trending. The news continues online at abccolumbia.com, on our mobile app, and on the news at 6 and 11. Thank you all for all the birthday wishes. I'm Kimberlei Davis. Be kind to each other. Have a wonderful Wednesday, and thanks for watching.
Hello, family.
Ooh, Dad has his hipster shirt on.
That's right, sweetheart. I'm headed to a Brooklyn watering hole with my coworkers. I'll probably be the only one there without a mustache, so I need to make sure I look extra cool. Now, has anyone seen my purse?
Yeah, your recorder is on the chair.
Ah, thank you, darling.
Oh, I listened to your teaser, by the way. It's really good.
Ha! In your face, Joe Hart's calamari.
Who?
Just some jerky troll on the internet who left a very hurtful comment.
Hey, since when do you read comments? You never used to care about that kind of thing at Cheer Up.
This is the very first thing I put out there that is entirely my vision.
Well, just try to remember, you can't please everyone.
Yeah, tell that to The Rock.